Whitney Houston, the name that defined an era of breathtaking ballads, pop anthems, and vocal performances so powerful they shook arenas. She rose from a humble choir setting in Newark to global superstardom, showcasing a voice that critics called divine. Yet behind that angelic sound lay a woman wrestling with personal doubts, demanding expectations, and a world that craved more from her every time she set foot on stage. This isn't just a story of superstardom or Hollywood glamour, it's about the raw human heart beating behind every high note. This is Whitney's world, where triumph and tragedy collide in a single soaring voice. Teenage Whitney visits bustling Manhattan studios with her mother, sometimes stepping in for background vocals on different projects. She's dazzled by the swirl of city lights, jostling producers, and the hum of possibility. That shy church girl glimpses an industry hungry for fresh voices. When an executive overhears Whitney's melodic riffs behind an older session singer, heads turn. Soon, hush rumors travel through corridors. That young Houston girl can sing like no other. At home in Newark, she tapes and retapes songs off the radio, dissecting each note from Aretha, Franklin, Chaka Khan, and Stevie Wonder. She tries to replicate their mastery, weaving her own style. Meanwhile, managers approach with business cards. A quiet electricity sparks in her eyes. Is she ready to step out of gospel's supportive embrace into the fierce realm of mainstream pop and R&B? She yearns to test her wings, though fear creeps in at the edges. Fear of losing the soulful core her mother instilled. In a glossy midtown high-rise, Whitney Houston signs with Arista Records under the guiding hand of Clive Davis, an industry giant famed for spotting raw brilliance. She's beaming yet anxious. People speak of chart-topping potential, big tours, and immediate star power. Her mother stands nearby, proud but watchful. Inside, Whitney's heart thumps with an urgent desire to prove she belongs. She enters the studio with top-tier producers, shaping the tracks that will eventually define her. On each take, she delivers vocals so flawless, the sound engineers gape in the booth. Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and other future anthems are formed behind these walls, forging a unique blend of pop sparkle, R&B groove, and a gospel undertone that stirs the soul. Though overshadowed by older stars at first, she's determined to bring something fresh, a golden range that climbs notes like staircases to the heavens. When Whitney's debut album hits shelves, the music scene collectively gasps. Her singles invade radio rotations, top the Billboard charts, and overshadow many established names. Industry players call her the new queen of pop balladry. Fans across continents repeat the unstoppable refrain, "That voice, that voice." She appears on morning shows, talk shows, glitzy award ceremonies. Every camera lingers on her bright smile, that shining elegance, and a softly shy persona behind the confident stage presence. Yet success births its own demands. Label executives scramble to schedule interviews, tours, and promotion. After each show, she's whisked to banquets or press lines. Despite her outward composure, the pace is punishing. Her father, John Houston, steps in as a figure of management, but the lines between fatherly care and business interest sometimes blur. Still, she believes she can hold everything together. After all, she's soared on the wings of that unstoppable voice since childhood. Whitney's second album cements her status. Unstoppable radio hits, bigger tours, grander stages. I Wanna Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me triggers mass dance parties, from beach gatherings to wedding receptions worldwide. She becomes a global phenomenon, adored in Europe, Asia, Africa. Everywhere she goes, paparazzi flashbulbs spark like lightning storms. Though outwardly she's the epitome of grace, awards in hand, trailing an entourage, Whitney confides in close friends about mounting pressure. Critics murmur about her pivot from soulful R&B to squeaky clean pop. Some question her authentic roots. Stage directors push for bigger, bolder spectacles to match her unstoppable success. She meets it all with the same unstoppable drive, layering each performance with a bit more polish, determined to leave fans breathless. Whitney leaps into film, starring in The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner. The movie becomes a box office smash, and the signature ballad, I Will Always Love You, shatters sales records. The emotional rawness of her voice grips entire nations. Critics hail it as one of the greatest vocal performances ever recorded. For a moment, she embodies pop culture's apex. Everyone wants a piece of her glow. But tabloids latch onto her personal life. Questions swirl about relationships, rumored friction behind the scenes, and speculation about private habits. She marries Bobby Brown, an R&B star with a flair for trouble, sending the media into a frenzy. She stands resolute, insisting her love is genuine despite the gossip. Even as her star soars higher, the seeds of stress begin to root deeper, a swirling mix of unstoppable success and the shadows that come with it. Between award-winning albums and more film roles, Waiting to Exhale, The Preacher's Wife, Whitney's life speeds forward. Yet the family dynamic with Bobby grows volatile. Stories of heated arguments slip into tabloids. She also grapples with rumors of substance abuse, though she denies them publicly. Appearances on late-night shows occasionally reveal an edgier, more defensive side. Fans notice weight changes, tardiness to interviews. Record label pressures mount. They want another chart-topping album, another unstoppable ballad. She tries to recapture the effortless grace that once propelled her, but behind every show-stopping number, personal battles loom. The unstoppable voice that soared years ago starts showing signs of strain. In private, she prays for solace, leaning on the gospel roots that shaped her as a child, yet the day-to-day turmoil grows. The new millennium finds Whitney Houston in a precarious place. Headlines about missed performances, erratic behavior, or cancelled appearances overshadow her once gleaming career. She attempts comebacks with fresh albums, each showcasing glimpses of the old brilliance, but critics note her voice has changed. The silver timbre is tempered by rough edges, shaped by battles behind the scenes. Yet her core fans remain loyal, cheering for any sign she might bounce back to unstoppable stardom. Her tumultuous marriage to Bobby Brown eventually collapses into public separation and heartbreak. Surrounded by lawyers, family tensions, and an endless media swirl, she tries re-centering on the music that once gave her unstoppable power. Sometimes, she reclaims it in short bursts, live duets or late-night studio jam sessions that remind everyone there's a legend behind the chaos. But the flicker often fades, overshadowed by personal demons. Hope sparks anew when she appears at events, rehearsing for a rumored revival. She reveals glimpses of renewed energy, planning future tours. Then, tragedy strikes. News breaks of Whitney Houston found unresponsive in a Beverly Hills hotel bathtub on the eve of the Grammys. The shock reverberates globally. Fans flood social media with heartbreak, and the industry stands still for a moment of disbelief.